Hello, hello.
Yo, yo.
Hey, so we'll see how this goes. It sounds like my neighbors are demoing their unit right now. So hopefully it's not too loud. Hopefully my mic doesn't pick up too much.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. A few people coming in. Benjamin, I saw you on Twitter earlier. Welcome.
Yeah, cool. We'll let them pile in. Hope everyone had a good weekend. For some people it's Monday morning. For others, it's Sunday evening.
Yeah, Monday, almost lunchtime where I am, which is lovely.
Oh yeah. Is my mic picking up that noise?
Nah, nothing out of the ordinary, so you're chill.
Oh, cool. That's good. That's good to hear. All right. So we'll let some more people pile in here. We're just going to just give a progress update, talk about some things we have planned for the community and the Discord to spice it up, and then we'll just kind of have an open chat from there.
So, crypto skulls. We got a friend here. It's Kai.
Nice. Nice. What's up, Kai? Cool. Yeah, so we can start with that. We can start with the avatar system update. Let me download some of those pictures onto my computer, and I will throw them in the Discord now so we can have a look while we are chatting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll for questions, do we want to put the AMA channel if anyone's got any questions in that one as well, Carl?
Yeah, yeah. If anyone
Yeah,
has a
sweet.
question and they can't speak, they can put it in the AMA channel, or honestly, even chit chat would probably be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice and easy.
yeah. All right. Sorry, just downloading these. So what I'm downloading is an update for our avatar system. And if you saw the first demo, you could see the lower avatars, right? Um, Kind of the guy in like the white suit and the lady in the red dress. We just weren't too happy with how those came out. So we actually said, let's go back to the drawing board, right? And let's do something new. So right now we are working on a new avatar system where it's customizable. Um, the images I'm going to show you are some of the first concepts and some of the first traits. We are going to add more traits. These are just to test it out. All right, there we go. Just downloaded them, so let me throw them in the Discord now. We're also working on wearables. So we did the model cut and everything for the wearables. And we don't quite have a peek at the. We might have a peek actually. I'll see. We don't have a peek at those right now, but I might be able to get one. So if you go to the sneak peek channel in the Discord, the demo sneak peeks, you can see we have just an example of a basic male and a basic female avatar, along with a few example facial features and some example hairstyles. So the idea is we're building these customizable avatar systems where you can kind of, change up the facial features you have, change your hairstyle, hair color, some different things like that. And along with that, we have cut these models so you can have different wearables on them, right? And the models are being designed around that. So these are the initial concepts. Right now, our 3D modelers are actually working on making the first batch of 3D models and then getting those rigged up so we can test them out. And of course, at any time, if any of you have a question, if you want to say something, a comment, please feel free, raise your hand. Yeah, very informal space today.
Let's see, we got Golden and Kevin joining us as well. Welcome, welcome. A bit of a wave there.
Cool.
I know the InRift guys were pretty big on chatting to us about integration and stuff like that. Is that something you think they'll be able to do in the future?
Yeah, so that's the plan behind this, is to get everything standardized, right? And then once we have those standard sizes, right, everything like that, the standard cuts for the models, then it will be easier for people to make a wearable that is compatible. So yeah, we're definitely keeping in touch with the guys at InRift. I talk to Florent pretty regularly, and we definitely plan to make their jackets wearable. They're working on special low poly versions just for us. So that's definitely in the plan. It may take a little while. First we have to sort out our own wearable system, and get it, working well, and then we can start to work on getting, third-party wearables integrated into that system.
Yeah. If you haven't been to InRift's Twitter, definitely go check them out because they've got some pretty cool stuff on there. And they've been pretty active in our community, so it's always nice to show them a bit of love back as well.
Yeah. And anybody just joining, right now we're just kind of looking at some new sneak peeks for the avatar concepts, because we were just not happy with the first batch of avatars, so we went back to the drawing boards. This is what we have so far. This is what we're working on. It's in the sneak peek channel in the Discord. All right. So any questions about that? Any comments? Any feedback? Doesn't look like it. Okay. So that's kind of our first update as far as what we are working on right now. The team is continuing to work on the demo and add features to that, such as the RSS3 user profile. Oh, there we go. Hey, Golden. And on top of that, they're working on these. Did you get him? Okay. We're working on these avatars. Golden, what's up?
How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good, thanks.
Good.
Randomly, I'm actually hanging out with one of my friends who is actually in the clothing industry, and who's kind of picking his brain around actually what you were talking about. So if there were partners like this around that wanted to get involved, and he wanted to start even looking at some models and stuff like that. He represents a couple of larger brands in California. Don't know if it would make sense or not, but some kind of random niche projects. And, in his head, he's sitting here asking himself, that sounds cool. I want to make some of these. I want to maybe do some collaborations. How would he even start to think about this moving forward?
Yeah, awesome to hear that some people are interested. So I think the first thing is we have to kind of wait for this initial framework, this initial system for the avatars to be built, right? And once we have that initial system put together, then we'll understand some of the requirements as far as like the sizing, the shape, the poly count, resolution. So I think the first thing is to let the system get built and see what those requirements are. And once we have those standard requirements, then, in a 3D modeling program of their choice, anybody interested could try to model based on those requirements, and we can work on getting that imported. I'm not sure if it will be something that can be completely automated, because there is some animating and rigging that goes to it as well. So you have to select the model points where it moves. And with low poly, it can actually be a little bit more difficult than some of the realistic models. A lot of the more realistic clothing models use a cloth simulator. So the cloth simulator can take care of a lot of the movement to make it look natural. But when you're working with this low poly stuff, you actually have to skin the model, they call it, which is when you are tying the different rigged joints together to say, okay, when this elbow moves, it's also going to make the shoulder or the chest move this much. So you have to kind of skin and link the different joints together so it makes a more natural movement. So I don't know if it'll be completely automated or not, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. We just got to wait a little bit, get this system out, and then we can try and build within those requirements.
Sorry, go on.
Do you guys think that you guys are going to have stores there, or are you looking for people to almost do pop-up shops ourselves? I'm just trying to get like, what do you envision?
We're hoping to see both, right? We want to make Matrix World really cool for creators. So of course we will have our own items in the marketplace, along with some free ones for users as well. And we'd love to see creators that are also adding items to the marketplace so they can kind of monetize their skill. They can bring more life to the marketplace and make it more interesting, give more options to all of the users.
Great. Maybe what I'll do is I'll have them join the Discord and shoot you a hello. And as things start to develop in that direction, maybe you guys can stay in touch.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to start. You can join the Discord, get in contact, and we can go from there.
Yeah, no problem. One other question he's asking in the background is, do you think you're going to have like different levels of tiers of stores, I guess, just in his head thinking of, higher brands versus, maybe more, streetwear or other things like that. Sometimes they love to collaborate together and, sometimes it obviously doesn't make for the best business. Do you envision maybe having different, I guess, your own subsections, I would say?
Yeah, we do want to try and get different types of brands together, luxury brands, streetwear brands, just kind of solo creators doing their own thing. We'd love to have all of that. And as you hinted, yeah, sometimes the bigger brands, especially the like the luxury brands, they're very sensitive to who they're around, who they're placed next to, right? Just for their brand's value and their brand image. So maybe it's like Chanel or Fendi or something like that. They may not want to be seen or put next to certain brands. So if we have to make like separate sections of the marketplace or something like that, we'll figure it out. But we do want to have a variety of different brands to appeal to all different types of users in the world.
He's nodding his head too. No, it sounds great. I'll try to get you guys connected.
Amazing. Can't wait.
We did just have a question come through in the Discord, and it was asking, will we be able to download the avatars, earn or mint more traits of the variations? What sort of customization do we have there?
Yeah, good question. So, as far as traits and variations, we're definitely going to be adding a lot more. This is just the test batch, if you would, right? So it's limited. We just want to start with, a few outfits, a few different facial features, a few different hairstyles, and get the system working, make sure everything is going smoothly. And once we're happy with that, then of course we'll start adding more and more traits. I believe the plan is there will likely be some free traits and then maybe some more exclusive traits that have to be purchased. And I'm not sure, but I think it would be cool if there was a way for users to also, if they wanted to design a trait that they could put on a marketplace or something like that. I think that would be really cool. I would have to talk to the devs and see if they have any plans related to that specifically.
Awesome, thank you. And I've just put Benjamin up on stage. So welcome, Ben. I don't think I've actually seen you in the Matrix World space before.
Yeah, welcome. How's it going?
Hey, thank you for bringing me up. And I asked a few questions in the Matrix World Discord, so thank you guys for answering them.
Anytime. That's why we're here.
So I have a question about the like building requirements. Maybe it's a little too early, but like, will we have any like? Will you give us any idea as to like like how big a 1x1 really is? Like I don't, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. That's good. So as far as building requirements, you're exactly right. It is a bit early, so we don't have the finalized, maximums and the finalized requirements yet. So we just have to kind of hang tight for the devs to put out those finalized numbers depending on what works optimally for performance, right? Because we are going to be in browser to make this accessible to as many people as possible. So sometimes there are some limitations that come with that. And as far as size, so yeah, the plan for a 1x1 is 30 meters by 30 meters. And to get an idea for scale, if you look at the demo, the flow demo, that is based on a 6x6. So if you go and watch that video, you can see there's this street kind of making the square around the flow headquarters. That square would be the size of a 6x6 space.
Gotcha. That's pretty huge.
Yeah. So that's what a 6x6 looks like. So yeah, I don't think we have any 3D 1x1s that I could like show you the size for, but that would be the best way to look at it. That's about a 6x6.
Gotcha. And my next question is about like gameplay and entertainment. So like, can you give us like a sneak peek as to like what tools you tend to like include as far as gameplay? Like, will we be able to create our own games, like sort of like sandbox?
Yeah, awesome. Good questions. So we do plan to make some different editors, right, and clients to help all of the users create in the world. Of course, one of these is going to be focused more on the modeling aspect of things, and the building. So making or editing or placing models, making, a space, a building for yourself. And then the other one is going to be based on, it's going to be like a low code creation tool. So pretty much we want to have a kind of a code library that makes it easier for users to program their space if they're programming a game or a marketplace or something else to make it interactive. We want to have kind of these different code snippets that you can bring in so you don't have to write code from scratch, and it's more accessible to people who aren't familiar with development. So this will be a programmable metaverse, like Turing complete programmability. So yes, you will be able to make games and marketplaces, dApps, other things like that on your land.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Now I'm just going to put that demo up in the chit chat so people will know what demo Carl was referring to as well. It's just a Twitter link to that announcement that we shared that. So, and looking back at it,
yeah, great,
giant as well, which is awesome. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so you can kind of see when I turn left and right. Initially facing to the side, I'm in the middle. So that's just halfway. So that's like you're seeing like three blocks to the left, and then when I turn, there's 3 more blocks to the right, and that makes up the 6x6 there. Cool. So if we don't have any more questions about kind of those avatars or the updates, the progress, then we will move on to talk about some community updates, some things we have planned. I know Daniel's had some really cool ideas, some really cool things he wants to start bringing into the community. So I will let him take it away. Daniel, would you mind telling the community what you have planned, what you have in store to make things more interesting in Discord?
Yeah. We I think we've noticed a bit more chatter in the chit chat, and we've got to give Golden a shout out. You're in there chatting quite a bit, which is great. And I think we want to have that welcoming community where you can come in and see there's people that are chatting and engaging. So that's a key focus of mine at the moment. And a part of that is, and you might have seen during the week, at random times, I might ask a few people to start trying to play a game with me or do something different. And we're going to start integrating them into like trivia little sessions and also gaming sessions, and a couple of different things that will be a bit more engaging and kind of get us talking to each other, and kind of build that community that we want to have at the end of the day. It's been great to see our Discord has grown and seen more people come in, and lots of people have been answering those questions, as Ben spoke to before as well. So starting tomorrow, if Kyle gives me the all clear, I think we'll have a little trivia session to kick things off. And I've heard there's going to be rewards as well. So as long as Kyle still gives me the tick of approval for that, we're going to be giving some stuff away.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we're thinking about having it roughly at the same time tomorrow?
For trivia, that's whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, sweet. All right. Well, it's going to be at the same time as what this Twitter space was. We'll try to keep it about the same. We'll push a little announcement, though, just to make sure it's all okay.
So, could you tell me a little bit and tell them a little bit about kind of the format, how the trivia is going to work, what you have kind of in mind for that? Like what kind of topics or...
Yeah, it's a good question. Sorry. So the trivia is going to vary, but it's all going to be Matrix world based. And I suppose what I'll do is we'll make an announcement and I'll kind of say what we're focusing on. So the first one might be Matrix World website. So you'll know well in advance what you need to have up in front of you to answer the questions to give you the best chance of winning this prize at the end of it. It'll just be in a channel in Discord, which is the Trivia and Gaming. If you don't have access to that channel, then make sure you react for the role as well to make sure you can get into that channel. There is an alerts role channel that gives you access to all the other channels like gaming and trading, trivia, sorry. But yeah, the main thing will be, it'll be in the chat, it'll be a slow chat, so the timing will be slowed down so people can't just spam it. I'll ask a question in text, and then whoever gets the answer first, they're essentially the winner of it. So it's a nice, simple layout. It's not complicated. Everyone is welcome, and it'll be one of those things that whoever has the most points at the end of it, they'll be the winner.
Yeah, we're planning on giving away some code blocks as prizes. So how often do you plan to do these?
I would love it to be weekly. I suppose we'll see how we go with engagement, as long as we get the bosses all clear, which is you're the boss for me. Aim will be to do something like this weekly, and whether it's games one week and then trivia the next week, we'll make sure we mix it up and give everyone a chance to do something that they enjoy as well.
Awesome. Let's see, Benjamin, I see you raising your hand. Do you have a question?
Yeah, so I have a question about the code blocks. So what exactly can we do with these code blocks that we can't do with any other of the tools that you're going to be putting out for free?
Yeah, so I've been, Daniel and I both, we keep asking the devs, like, please, let us get an article out. So we're hoping to have an article to reveal the details of these code blocks sometime soon. We're just waiting on the A-OK from the devs with the absolute final specifics of the functionality. Just to make sure in case they changed anything or in case there's something we're missing, we want to make sure it's exactly what they have in mind for these before we release it. So hopefully we can get you guys the details on that really soon here. We have been bugging the devs about it.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah. So sorry I can't give a more detailed answer right now.
Nah, no worries. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So excited to start the trivia and the games. We are going to make code blocks available as just regular prizes to make it more interesting. And also, sorry about that. Also, I want to, I'm going to start a channel for the recordings of all of these AMAs, all of these Twitter spaces. And I'm going to see about getting little written summaries with the spaces as well. So it's easier for some people to follow along if they don't have the time to listen or if they can't listen. So we'd also love to hear from you guys. What are some things you would like to see in the community? Whether it's some different gaming features or a channel in the Discord. We'd love to hear from all of you. So this is one of the big reasons we want to do these regular spaces, is not just to give you guys updates, but to talk with you, to hear what you think, to hear your opinion or your wants, your feedback, your suggestions. So again, anyone, if you have something to say, if you have a suggestion, please feel free to raise your hand, come up here so we can talk.
Yeah, I think the number one thing that I would like to see is the Discord integration, like connecting your Discord, like with the RSS3. You could connect your Twitter, but you can't connect Discord. I think it would be pretty cool, like because Discord. I mean, everyone uses Discord, especially if you're in the crypto space. So it could be cool if, like, like ownership of an NFT. Like if you own an NFT, then you get a specific role in a specific server of a Discord. I think that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that could be neat. I would have to talk to RSS3 and see if they have any plans for anything like that. Actually, I think one of their ambassadors might be in the crowd right now listening. um, but yeah, we'd have to talk to them and see if they have any plans for that. So you're saying something kind of like Collabland and the Emerald Bot do, where you get a role in a Discord for owning a certain NFT? Like, would
Yeah.
you want all of those roles to be like in the Matrix World Discord, or?
No, not in the Matrix World Discord. In like my personal
Oh,
Discord. Like
okay, okay.
so like for example, like let's say I have like a game center, and I have a pre-sale of NFTs, and I sell these NFTs. So when someone buys the NFT, they should be able to get a specific role in my Discord so that they can interact with each other. Does that make sense?
Okay. So almost like something similar to what Collabland does, but kind of more automated, right? All managed by RSS3 instead of like each server having a different bot that you have to connect to again and again and again.
Right. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not sure. I'm not sure about like Collabland. I've never heard of that, but yeah.
So Collabland, like if you go on our server, we have the verify ETH channel, right? Collabland is a Discord bot where you connect to that bot and it'll verify if you own a certain NFT, and if you do, it will give you a role in that server. But the limitation here with Collabland is you have to set up each role and link it to each NFT contract manually. So each server owner has to make each role one by one, give the details for that contract, that NFT, and which role it would award. So usually most NFT servers will have this, but it will only grant a role for their NFTs. So for example, we have one that can check if you have an Ethereum land, and it'll give you an ETH landowner role. And we have another bot that will check if you have a Flow land, and it will get you a Flow landowner role. And those give you access to our landowners channels, which is like a landowner only chat, a landowner like suggestion and discussion channel, some perks, some things like that.
So now I have a question. If I were to transfer that NFT, like let's say my land, I have no more land, and I transfer my NFT to like another address, will I lose that role, or will that role
Yeah, you would have to reconnect and re-verify with the new address.
Oh, okay. So if I
Yeah.
have a land on one address, right, and I only have one land, and I transfer it to another account, then the account that had the land before will automatically lose the role on the Discord.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's kind of what most people do to implement kind of those like gated members only areas in their Discord servers right now. And that way, someone can't just buy an NFT, get the role and sell it and keep that perk.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'll take a
Yeah.
look at Collabland.
So if you're trying to do it for your own server or your own project, if it's on ETH, I would use collab.land. And then if it's on Flow, I would use the Emerald bot by the Emerald City DAO.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Emerald bot could do the same thing.
Yeah, but for Flow.
But for Flow, okay.
Yeah, because that's actually something that wasn't possible until just recently when they made that bot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're actually really cool team. If you guys haven't checked out Emerald City, Jacob's awesome. We actually were the first project to implement their verification bot live on the mainnet. because we were looking for a way to do it, and they reached out. So we did the first implementation of that bot, actually.
Yeah, Emerald City is pretty cool. They have the proof of attendance.
Yes, I'm really excited for that to go on the mainnet. We actually have a few of those to give out. Excellent. I see we've got some more people joining us. So just in case you just got here, if you're in our Discord and you look in the demo sneak peek channel, we threw up some of the concepts for our new redone avatar system that we're working on, right? The idea is to have some customizable avatars with different features, different hairstyles, and this is just the initial batch. We only did a few traits because we want to make sure the system is working before we start piling on more and more traits. We're also working on a few outfits for the male and female avatars as well. So we've got the models cut and sectioned for wearables, and we are also testing that at the same time. So hopefully we can continue to bring some peaks as our modelers get the 3D models of these out. All right. Anybody else? Any questions, comments, suggestions? Anything you'd like to see? So Daniel, you said the first trivia is going to be tomorrow.
Indeed it is. Yep. Roughly the same time tomorrow. And for the inside word, before we throw the announcement on the Discord, it will be on Matrix World website. So study up the Matrix World website and you'll be ahead of the curve, that's for sure.
Awesome. That's what I was just about to ask, what the topic was going to be. Okay, the Matrix World website. Very cool. We have a new speaker that just came up. You got a question for us?
Oh, hello. My name is Takoyaki. I'm from Japan. And this is my first space.
Welcome,
so
welcome.
I'm a little bit nervous tonight.
Don't be nervous.
I have a few questions. First of all, do you think you're introducing a first-person perspective mode?
Yeah, great. So yes, we will have a first person and a third person view available in the world.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
The second one is I'm Japanese, so I think we need some out translation system in this metaverse. So are you thinking it?
That's a good question actually. That's something really good to consider because we do have a very wide audience, users from all over the world. I'll have to talk to the game designer on that one and see if they can integrate or if they plan on integrating some sort of translation system into the world and into the chat system.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
actually a really good idea. I will make sure to bring that up to them. I'm not sure if they have any plans for it at the time.
Oh, really? Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
The last one is I think this Matrix world looks like do you know Portals, which is the Solana chain metaverse? I think it is very similar metaverse. Do you think the Portals will be competitors?
Let me search that one up. I'm actually not too familiar with the Solana space. Okay, I see portals, browser-based metaverse, drag and drop. Yeah, so it does look a bit similar. Yeah, it would in a way be competition, I would say. I think the big difference here is kind of the chain, right? So they're on Solana. I can't see if they support any other chains from their main page. So yeah, I'd say that would be a competitor. But I believe where we differ is kind of the multi-chain aspect of it.
Oh, okay.
So the fact
Yeah.
that we have, Ethereum, Flow, and more chains to come in the future,
Oh, yes. Okay.
I think that'll be the biggest difference.
Oh, okay. Thank you
Oh,
very
well,
much.
thanks for introducing me to that project as well. I haven't seen this one before.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good evening, or a good day, I should say. You're in Japan.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Seems a few more jumped in. So everybody, we're just having a nice informal community space. We want a chance to talk with all of you, answer any questions you have, speak to any comments or concerns you have. And again, if you can't speak because of where you are, or, if English isn't your native language and that's difficult, you can go ahead and type your question in the Discord and we can answer it from there as well. So just letting you all know that's another option. And earlier we talked about the demo system. We also talked about some plans we have for the community. Daniel's going to be bringing in some trivia nights and some gaming nights as well. So I saw you played a few games. Benjamin, do you have a question?
Oh yeah, I do have a quick question. So, I mean, this is like maybe future, but so you've already integrated Ethereum and Flow. Do you have plans on, like moving on to other blockchains and integrating more blockchains? Like, is this going to be like a completely multi?
Definitely.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And will you have like
Yeah.
land sales in the same way that you like had land sales with these?
So we definitely want to add more and more chains. As far as land sales, not certain on that. I don't know that it's necessary to have land for each chain that is supported, because we really want to carefully consider our land supply, and we don't want to flood the market and devalue the land that's already out there. We only want to consider releasing more land if there is really, really high demand, and if it seems like the amount of land we have now is kind of holding back the project from expanding further. So we only want to add land if it's going to bring value. So that makes it tough to say for certain if we will or won't add land when we bring on new chains. If it makes sense to add land, then maybe we'll add some. But if it doesn't, I just don't think it would be good to add land just for the sake of having it on that chain.
Because we've got to have like a diversified range of people that are actually using our network. And if there's not room for people to build, there's not room for people to join and come on and actually want to be there. So I think, as you were saying, Cole, there needs to be that consideration, that balance there.
Yeah.
Anytime I asked, especially in the first days when I kind of got to Matrix World, was like, is there going to be more? And you're like, no, we'll take it into consideration. And I appreciate you've stuck by that the whole time through. So, we'll see what happens in the future. But the big thing I think about is like, if I was to invite mates there, they're like, oh, I want to make a shop. And I might be like, well, it's 15 ETH to make a shop. And they're like, so we've got to find that balance for our community.
Yeah, definitely want to find the balance, want to make it accessible, but also want to make sure we provide value to the people who have already invested in the project and gotten in early. And oh man, I know there can be a lot of focus on floor price sometimes, and I just urge people to remember that we are still so early in this project. We're not even to alpha yet. So just consider that when you're looking at the value of the land, and when you're comparing it to other projects that are more established, that have been around for maybe 5 years now. They didn't start out at this price. It took them a while to get to where they are today. And you also have to consider some other things as well. Like, a lot of people like to make the NFT Worlds comparison, which I'm not trying to dog on that project. I think that's a cool project and a good idea. But A lot of people will sit here and say, oh, well, Matrix land is undervalued because an NFT world is a 90th floor right now. It's like, but you're comparing an entire world to a 1x1 plot. If you compare the price to even a 3x3, then you'd see it's actually on par. Our 3x3s are actually holding a higher floor price for the most part than the NFT worlds, let alone the 6x6s. So I think anybody looking at the price and asking about that, of course, it is something we have to keep an eye on because this is an investment for all of you. But I hope you're not overly focused on it, and I hope you realize it's still so early on in this project, and there's so much potential, in my opinion, not financial advice, there's so much potential for upside in the future once we actually have an alpha. And, once we have more and more brands coming in, because a lot of the really big brands, they're more traditional in the way they do business, and they're a little more risk averse. So they're not going to just start jumping into projects that are, pre-alpha left and right, because that brings risk to their brand. They're a little more cautious about it, and they're going to say, okay, well, we want to wait. Let's wait till we get, closer to your alpha, till we can see your demo, and then we'll talk about partnership. So a lot of investors are the same way. They don't want to invest until they actually see something they can play, until they see an alpha. So we haven't had that stuff happen yet. We're still that early. If you look at these gaming projects, the value of their tokens, the value of their NFTs, you see a similar pattern that plays out across a lot of these projects. And that's, upon their release, they'll have a big pump, and that will crash, that will correct, and then you'll have this stable lull, where the price is just stabilized during the development. And it seems boring to the people in the project. They're just waiting, what's going on, nothing's happening. But I think boring, in my opinion, is the best time to buy something. If you buy it when it's exciting, you're probably buying the peak, right? You're buying too late. So this lull period typically lasts during development, and then you see the game or the world launch, and the price really jumps up from there. And that's a very, very common pattern we see a lot in the gaming industry, in blockchain gaming. So just keep in mind where we're at. But with land, we always do want to consider our landowners and do what's going to be best for them, while also doing what will be good for the world. Because, like Daniel was saying, if new people can't come in and can't get land and can't build, that's actually going to turn people away from the world and could actually hurt the price in the long run. So tough topic.
You're all good, Ben. You can jump in if you're going to say something there.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just gonna say something really quick. Yeah, this is my first like metaverse like land that I own. So, I knew about Decentraland like a long time ago, but I just didn't make the jump into it. And that's when, it was boring. Like not many projects were on it, and they're still developing, like back I think maybe 2017, 2018. I first learned about Decentraland, but now, I mean, look at Decentraland, it's very popular. So, I see a lot of potential with this one, especially because like the actual gameplay looks really, really good. Like from the demo videos that you showed, it looks really, really good. And plus, it's on Flow. Like, well, I'm on the Flow side of things. So, the gas feed, I won't have to worry about that. So that's like another added benefit. And then the other thing is, honestly, I bought the land to buy and hold, but after like seeing what kinds of projects that could be built, like I'm like now like I'm starting to be more involved in like wanting to like build my own project, because I think maybe that's how real value is created, and that's how like people could, like by, creating real, games or, whatever for people, experiences for people, you could bring real value to the land, and, hike the price of your land, to do that. So it's not always just like buy and hold, because that's kind of boring, but I want to like buy and build. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
Love it. Love it.
I was actually a Decentraland OG, so I got a couple of plots back in the beginning. And dude, you're right, it was boring, and I just left it there. I'm glad I did leave it there. But what was interesting, and the other day I was looking at it, and like to merge two blocks, you had to spend like $200 or $300 on gas, and I was like, this isn't what it's meant to be like. So I actually sold those blocks, and Matrix World was much more appealing. So I went, hey, it looks cool. It's multi-chain. It's future-proof. That's what we're about, right? So I think you've made a good call, and especially on the flow side, because that flow community is pretty damn huge. Golden, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I've actually seen a couple people talking about this in the Discord back and forth, and I think that Kyle did a great job explaining, just the economics of the properties. But I think that's definitely something to take in consideration is it's both on Ethereum and on Flow, and I think we can all pretty much agree that for volume, Ethereum is the king right now. But on the other hand, we have Flow, which is now the best transaction maneuvering that we could do. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. And, I'm not sure if everyone keeps talking about like one having a higher selling point and one, possibly being affected. I think it's just going to take a minute where all land is going to become really desirable. And it's not going to matter which side that you're even on because, from what it sounds like to me, the game, mechanics so far have shown that we can build, programmably both on the same sides. And at first I think people are going to be like Flow or ETH, but I hate to tell you, I think all the land, and is it a good buying time to maybe get that Flow land? And, it may really be a good buy.
Yeah, I agree as well. But I think the big thing for me is I found it on Ethereum and I was like, whoa, there's a whole new world to Flow. So I think having it on Ethereum, as we talk about, is a good thing to get the market interested in both blockchains as well. So for me, I saw it on Flow and I was like, wait, there's no functionality difference. Okay, I'm buying on Flow. Why wouldn't I? It's cheaper, So I think we are going to see that balance out eventually. But no, it's good points.
Yeah, and I appreciate the love from everyone, and yeah, Flow, man. I just feel like Flow is the most slept on blockchain in the space right now. Like the partnerships they have are just crazy, and the use, like the user experience is so good. But I know some people have been saying, well, the Flow price is lower than the ETH price. Yeah, that's if you're looking at this purely as a speculative investment and you bought Flow, then I can see how that might be a little bit disappointing. If you're looking to build and create, you might look at that as an opportunity to say, hey, I can get something cheaper here and build the same thing. So one is how you look at it, and two is just recognizing, like, just being honest, right now the NFT space is completely dominated by Ethereum. That's where most people are. That's where most of the demand is. And I think the price is kind of reflecting that right now. It's just got more traffic, it's got more demand and more volume on that. I don't think it's necessarily anything about marketing or anything like that. Some people have been saying, maybe we're not marketing enough for Flow. But actually, if you look at our Twitter, we are posting about Flow way more than we post about ETH. We have way more Flow projects that are building, that we are partnering with, but the market is the market. The market will control the price. And for now, this is what it is. In my mind, oh my gosh. In my mind, I view it as an opportunity, an opportunity to get in at a good price because I think Flow is just going to blow up in the future. For example, we've got that Attack on Titan project. I know there are a lot of anime fans out there. That's the first major IP to do an NFT project, and they're not just doing PFPs, they're actually doing moments and collectibles, and that's on Flow. You've got NBA, NFL, UFC, all of these projects. That's on Flow. We're the only metaverse on Flow. I think it's just a matter of time once the alpha is out, once the demo is out, that we have some more of these brands jumping in, and you can see Flowland become a totally different world.
I went through, and I was saying this in Discord the other day, I went through and bought my first Top Shots And I was just blown away how just put the credit card in, away you go. I've got my moments there. So I agree with you, Kyle. I think as soon as AOT comes in, it's going to be pretty big, and Flow's going to get a lot more attention as well.
Yeah, and that's what people say. Like some people are like, "Oh, we're looking at getting the next million people on ETH," and Flow's like, "No, we're looking at getting the next 4 billion people into NFTs and into cryptos by making it a chain that can be used by just the average person, by someone who isn't so much a crypto native or a crypto degen who's happy playing around with MetaMask and different Web3 extensions and all of this. Like, they want to make it more accessible to just a normal person. You know, think about your parents, think about some of your friends who aren't so tech inclined or who aren't into crypto. They're probably not going to go through the, registering on an exchange, buying, transferring, doing all of that just to get an NFT. That'll probably be a barrier to entry. But if you look at the common person and think, okay, well, they can just, use a credit card and get access to this, that opens up the space to so many more people, which is exactly what we need. And that's why I think Flow has a lot of potential going forward. Sorry if it's a bit loud on my end. The construction is going crazy now.
Quick question for you. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, you good, mate?
Yep.
Yeah. So, quick question. So, let's say I wanted to make a game of, let's say laser tag, for example. Like, would I need any coding experience to do that? Because I'm not too technical. Like, I can navigate the space, but as far as coding, yeah, I mean, that's not my forte. But if that's something that I need to learn, then I'd like to know.
Yeah, so it really depends on how complicated of a game or an app you want to build. We're trying to make it as accessible as possible to people without experience, but of course, if you have some experience or some knowledge, you'll be able to do a lot more than just kind of the basic stuff that you would be able to do with the, ready-made tools. So we want to make it as accessible as possible, but of course, someone who knows dev is going to be able to do a lot more. So it's hard to say right now what exactly you'll be able to build if you have zero experience, but we're trying to make it as friendly as possible in that regard. And I think this kind of brings up where we want the community to move to in the future. What I really want to see out of the community is that we build a really cool place where people can learn and connect as creators, right? So people can help each other out. Maybe we can continue offering some of these classes to say, okay, you don't know much about dev. Let's make some tutorials. Let's make a little boot camp to get you started, to help empower people, to teach them what they need to know to create. And I'd love to see a community grow around that where creators can help each other, creators can learn from each other, creators can share their knowledge and benefit from it.
Kyle, do we know what language is going to be used to build on top of the worlds themselves?
No, I don't actually know that yet. That's a question I've got to ask the devs as far as which language will be used to program the lands.
Yep. And also we've got a couple of devs that are actually in our community. I know Golden's got some background to him, and he's learning cadence as well, which is really cool. And Golden, I've got to mention your neighbors in this Twitter space right now, aren't they? Might have been.
Oh yeah.
No, we're all good. But yeah, I think the big thing is a lot of our community members are trying to take a step forward, and there's two people that I've heard in the last week that are actually looking into learning cadence, which is Flow's programming language. So I think the more you talk about these things inside our chat, the more we help each other out, and that's where the landowners is a great place to be. But also just in general chat, just saying, hey, I've started to learn this, and whether people join up and they study together or have times where they chat to each other about issues they're having. I think we're going to see our Discord grow to more a support community for each other like that as well, which is going to be a great thing for new people coming on board as well. So exciting times ahead.
I would also say, from what I'm looking at, to the Chain IDE, which is one of Matrix big partner, as well as Matrix Labs does a tremendous amount of classes already. They're like probably, I think they've done over 800 maybe in the last year is what they were boasting about. And within this, don't quote me exactly on the numbers, but they, I've been looking them up and trying to learn. That's how I actually got connected with the project because, I love just learning more about dev and learning about the technology. And this is not their first rodeo. They were winning awards for building multi-chains before this project even got started. And when you look at these groups like Dapper Labs, I mean, if those are some of the ideas of the partners that we're going to see, and then we have additional names like Animoca, like to me, all these are the right types of players to be in this space with. They've shown that they've been able to bring in huge titles like NBA Top Shots and, some of the UFC bouts, cards that are about to drop as well. And, even Genies. I mean, there's some pretty big projects that Dapper Labs have been doing. And, from every time I look at most of the conversations, I see a tremendous amount of their information showing up, as, hey, Matrix World is coming, from the head CEOs. So, I mean, it seems to me like they've really built a strong partnership within this community. And, the dev team, I don't know, Kyle, can you tell us how many people are currently working on dev with you guys?
Yeah. So the Matrix Labs team is over 50 people now worldwide, and we're very heavily dev focused if you're looking at the split of the team, right? So we actually have a very high percentage of devs within that 50. Now that said, because Matrix Labs is bigger than just Matrix World, not every single dev is working on Matrix World, right? We also have other projects, just like how we did the tech for like Fantabear and help them with their website, right? Their NFT, so we do have some devs working on these other projects as well. And these other tools, these other things we're creating. But yeah, all in all, the team is over 50 now, spread out around the world with a very heavy focus on devs, very light on kind of the marketing, PR, that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me most of the people I've spoken to have a really strong developer background, and it's something that is highly missed, I think, within a lot of these communities. And it's great to see that the team is so strong. And like I said, it seems to be their major focus. And I don't know if anybody's, another player, his name is, I apologize, I don't want to butcher it, I think it's Alvin. That's how else I found the project, because I started following a lot of information about multi-chain and wanted to understand what the difference between, having a multi-chain or having a cross-chain, and, what's the pros and what's the cons of all of this. And, to be able to not have to wrap things, to be able to turn around and just use in game, some of these, stuff that is written in the white paper of the Matrix is really just the right way, I think, that it all needs to move. And like I said, especially if we can get, straight cash onboarding into the system and some of these huge partners, I mean, I can only imagine once the alpha drops, it will be really exciting.
Yeah, and we love all of the support you give us, by the way. We really appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I know we're early. I know it's tough to wait, especially in the NFT space where things move so fast. But gaming is just a different monster, right? So my wife actually works in the gaming industry. She's a project manager. She's worked with companies like Ubisoft, Amazon, Square Enix. Just as a project manager working on some AAA titles, and the amount of work and time and effort that goes into gaming is something that a lot of people just couldn't even imagine, and that's another thing with the updates. It's like, if you look at some of these AAA games, right, they're all using the agile system of project management, and usually their milestones, like their sprints, can be up to 2 months long. Right? So they'll assign tasks, right? Their main task, and it'll be in a 2-month block for a lot of them. So to expect, a game-changing update every week, It's just not how it works. On the quickest, you'll see like a sprint block that's like 2 or 3 weeks maybe in a gaming project. So that means every 2 or 3 weeks, people will be assigned their next set of tasks, to work towards the progress of that project. So I hope you guys, bear with us and understand there's not going to be an update about the dev every day or maybe even every week, because usually it's a multi-week or even a month plus timeline to where they're divvying out these tasks to get them done.
Yep. One thing that maybe if it was a request from the community, I think it was kind of what Benjamin was saying as well, which was, if we could start to get up maybe, it doesn't have to be for next week or the week afterwards, but I think what we would want to know is how could we start to get ready? Like what are some of the things that we're going to need? Like if we can bring in 3D modeling, what type of 3D models should we be looking at to start to build? Just to get any kind of framework of, I heard him asking about dimensions and size, just to get any kind of, square in our pocket. So if people are trying to put together teams or try to figure out how they're going to develop their land, it would give, some tool sets, because I kind of picture it looking like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with how Flash was or Director back in the day, but, there's a lot of stuff you can do. And then there's an extra layer of programming that gets you to that next level, and you can do a lot of stuff. But, if you have these extra tools, it's basically second or third layers upon layers. And to me, I'm really excited because it sounds like the community would really like stuff that has a lot of WYSIWYG, and it sounds like you have that built in as well. So, I mean, to me, like I said, any kind of framework I think you could give us, without even showing us an exact update, but just saying, hey, we accept these 4 different types of models would be your best bet to start to play with. I think that would at least give us some ideas as well.
Right on. Yeah, I'll have to ask the team, ask the devs if there's any more guidance they can give on that, as far as maybe like a language for the programmability, and as far as like model formats, like what do you want, GLB or will Blender be okay? So yeah, I'll have to talk to the team on that and see if they can give some more specific guidance. I know for now they haven't finalized it as far as like the art side of things, as far as the modeling requirements and exactly which formats will be accepted, which formats will be importable. But I'll keep on them, and I will get you guys as much info as I can about that as soon as it is available. I promise.
Yeah, that would really help, because I think, the mindset that I'm in, I want to start on a project, but I don't want to do anything until like I know for sure, at least like some sort of like an outline. So yeah, one question I have for you is about the public facilities. Like, what is that going to be used for? Like the land for public facilities?
Yeah, so a lot of these are reserved and they will be used for partnerships, big partnerships. And then some of them also might be developed into just general use lands by our team, right? So for example, we're making like the NFT museum, the Matrix World NFT museum. That's something that will be on a public land. Another example is you've got a big partner coming in, for example, like the Fanta Bear project. So it's like, okay, this is a project that's so big that it's a benefit to the world and the community. So a project like that, we would consider giving them use of a 10 by 10 public land. And the reason they're not just NFTs is like we want this to be very curated, with a very rigorous kind of selection process to make sure if someone gets those lands, that it's going to be built and used in a way that benefits the community. It's not just going to be some investment DAO buying the land and leaving it blank or something. So actually, because of that, these aren't even tokenized at the moment. And it's more just on a case-by-case basis where we will talk with the project. And if we feel they're worthy, we'll give them use of a specific public land.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so I think as we get closer to alpha, you're going to start seeing some more info, some more of those like fill up and get announced as far as who's partnering. But we are talking with people. We are working on stuff, like super excited. We've got a meeting set with the Attack on Titan Legacy team to see if we can make something happen there. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we get lucky. That would be a cool one to bring in.
As far as so I'm looking at the map, right? One question I always had, so like there's a lot of, land, but like, could we consider like the lines, like the walkways, like the roads, like where would the roads be?
Yeah, so that's another thing. Like I've got to get the specifics from the game designer on that, because I don't know personally what their plans are yet as far as like road or travel ways, like where those will be, if they'll be between each land or if there will be set paths. So yeah, I've got to talk to the game designer on that. I haven't heard the specifics either.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And anyone, if you've just joined us, welcome. Thank you for coming and listening. This is just a chance for us to connect with the community. So please feel free, raise your hand if you've got any questions, any comments, anything like that. And don't be shy. You can come up and speak. Also, if you don't want to come up and speak, or if you can't come up and speak and you still have a question, feel free to put the question in the Discord and we will answer it for you.
It's been a good session today. We've had new people up on stage, which I really appreciate. Benjamin speaking, and Takioki, I believe is your name as well. Thank you for jumping up on stage. That was amazing. Awesome. Glad I said it kind of okay. And Golden, thank you for being here as well, as usual. So it's really great. But yeah, if you do have any questions, I've just put in the Discord any questions here. So make sure you chuck those in. We've been here over an hour now, Kyle. This is the longest one we've had yet.
Yeah. And as far as us, the news we had, in case you missed it at the beginning, in the Demo Sneak Peeks channel in Discord, we put up some concept art for the new revised avatar system. We really weren't too happy with how the first ones turned out, so we went back to the drawing board, and this is kind of what we have for our first test run at these customizable avatars, where you can change your facial features, your hairstyle, and also have wearables. So these are the concepts, just a few traits. There will be a lot more in the future. We just want to get the system working first, and then we'll be off to the races there. And I think if there are no more questions or comments, then we can wrap this one up for today. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, Daniel, let's go ahead and wrap up here for today.
Sounds good. Hey, I did this on another Twitter space as well, but one of the questions for tomorrow, I'm going to give you a question now. So you've got to step ahead. Let me figure out. Oh, here we go. Here's a good question. I love giving away little things. This is going to be one of the questions tomorrow. In the video entry, when you're on desktop, what color is the avatar's jacket? Now, don't answer now. Just have that in the back of your mind, but that will be a question I ask tomorrow. So what color is the avatar's jacket?
Right on. Excited for trivia. So we're going to have our first trivia tomorrow. Daniel will be hosting. It will be around the same time we had this space today. It'll be in the Discord. And we will be giving out code blocks as prizes for the trivia. He's also going to be bringing some community gaming nights together. So if you guys have suggestions for games, if you'd be interested in a community poker night, anything along these lines, please let us know. We want to help build the community that you guys want and that you guys are looking for. I also think it's about time we do another contest. So I'd love to hear from the community, in the Discord. What kind of contest? Do you want another meme contest? Would you want a writing contest? Let me know, and we can get a contest going too.
I found out this week that there's some people that pay for someone to make memes for their Discord for the whole week. Did you know that was a thing?
Like they like contract someone to make memes.
Yeah, they grind and they pay them like $100 a week to make memes for their Discord all week. That blew my
Oh
mind
my
when I found that
gosh.
out. So
You
that's
know,
a thing apparently.
There's actually
actually,
like celebrity memers who go around and they get paid. No joke. I've actually spoken to some people in clubhouses before, and this is what they do for a living. And but this is what they do. Yeah.
And it's a job, so good on them if they've found an industry they can get into. I love that. Imagine if I could do that for a living, but this is pretty fun. I enjoy this.
yeah, it's crazy some of the stuff that's out there. Like I'll get people DMing me like, "Hey, we'll sell you 100 members to have activity in your Discord." Like that's a service. They'll just sell you fake activity for your Discord. It's bonkers.
But people do it, and you
Bonkers.
look at all the different Twitter, and we're going a bit off topic now, but the Twitter accounts, and you see they've got 50,000 followers in the space of 2 days, and you're like, what is going on? But you can pretty quickly see who's paid for followers and how it happens as well. And I think, yeah, it's nice to see and I've been looking at the numbers and, how many people have been talking in our Discord and stuff like that. And we've got a nice smooth gradient that we're going through. So we're doing pretty well. I'm happy with what's going on at Matrix World.
Yeah. We just want to keep building, and we want to make this the community that all of you want. So please, we always love to hear your feedback, your suggestions, what you'd want to see. Let us know in the chat. We're going to wrap it up here for today. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead.